Mhm. Happy Sunday morning. Mhm. There we go. Mm, Coffee. 6:35 on the West Coast. Another fellow West Coaster. Hello. Make it by Mandy. Good morning. Good morning. All that frozen, that frozen stuff that's here. Some of it came down and just froze. Lewis. Good to see you, Lewis. Oops. Happy Sunday morning. Yeah. Just waking up. Everything's frozen. Just it rained even and then froze some more. So it's just a sheet. Yeah. Yep. Frozen stuff falling from the sky right now. Yeah, that's another thing. It's supposed to have either light rain or snow where I am. You're a little further north. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Oops. Yep. We were a warning today for the amount to arrive. Frozen stuff falling from the sky right now. Here we warning today for the amount to arrive. Yeah, absolutely. That's okay. Typo. I understood. More centimeters. It's February. We always get snow in February, like mostly, sometimes mostly. And it's a little bit, and then it goes away. Spring's here, boom. I can pick daffodils already, so this is just a minor interruption. Bring on the blooms. Yeah. Happy Sunday. It's going to be a long week this week. Probably the longest week for a while for me. But yeah. Yeah, long week coming up. Depends now if it snows a whole lot. Some of my plans might get interrupted. How much snow are we going to get? Because it can rain here like an atmospheric downpour sometimes. So that happened when it was snowing. Yeah, that would be, that happened in 96, I think. Yeah, cars were covered over a couple, 3 feet or something. Some places more than others. Yep. Breaking out the snow shovel and ice melting safety salt or whatever you want to call it. I think it has like an additive like whey powder or something on it or something like that on the salt. It lasts a lot longer. But yeah, it's the legal requirement that you do that when you're living in the city. You know, a lot of people don't do it in a lot of different municipalities. Some municipalities are they got it where it's done. Here you have to get out there and do it. Long week, darn. My typing sucks today. I'm sorry. Gonna be a long weekend here for me too. I know you don't like politics here, but all this political stuff going on gives me lots to think about and figure out for work. Well, it's money and numbers. It's something you like doing. Yeah, you know, you know, but you know, this week I'm going to be extremely busy. So I wish you the best on your tax season. I'm not a tax fan. Don't imagine you are either. You got to do the job. Yeah. Never was very good at numbers. Wasn't my thing. Yeah. I watched some shows of locals fishing, and they left Nia Bay and went to picked off a few halibut and lingers and rockers and snappers. And they went really close to the BC border. I was like, well, I could go there too. And I'm like, oh yeah, fishing. They caught a lot of ground fish and salmon too. There was real expert people on salmon. I was just like, oh, cool. I'd never heard of them, but YouTube heard of them. So yeah, there's a lot of spearfishing that goes on here. I was just like, wow. Yeah, yeah. Nutrient dense food's hard to come by. Very hard. I'm only good at accounting type numbers. Don't give me any of that other fancy math like calculus or algebra. It makes no sense to me. Well, if you need to learn it, learn it. But if you're never going to use it, why learn it? Just saying. The entire street here. Good morning, Adrian. The entire street here is a white scape. Right, the entire scape is and it sparkles with the street lamp light hitting. It looks like all a bunch of diamonds. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I had to let the dogs out, right? Oops. Well. Oops. More centimeters. Good morning. Oops. You walk quietly in the snow. I'm only good at accounting, right? Adrian, oops. Blinding diamonds in the sun. That'd be interesting. I hope it stays frozen. There's a rain and snow. But if it's slush, then and it rains, then you've got to watch out a couple things. Especially I have a flat roof here on this side, so I'll have to remove it. Generally, that's what I do every year is put someone there to remove it. I find snow pretty, but it seems to bring out all the bad drivers. Yeah, it's different than other places. No shadow for the little groundhog. It's cloudy here and early spring. Hey, wild edibles. Well, is that right? Oh, maybe that groundhog, it has to come out on a different day. I got snowbanks that are waist and chest deep. Well, Lou, take it easy there. Get out the toboggan. 6 weeks either way. You know, yeah, yeah. Interesting, hey? Snow has arrived. This is day 2 of basically what I call winter. It's day 2 now. And I'm just wondering how long it's going to last. Because I'm thinking the next time it rains, I might put a shield on my loquat. And time to swing by and see the orangery, see what's going on there today. It's Sunday, so I'm going to need to get out. Oh, I have to try my new boots. I have a new like runner type boot that's just for like running on the snow, really heavy duty tread, really good for running on snow and ice. So I want to try it out. Not so much on ice, but but I'll try it out. You want to break them in. I've tried them on like just road and then trail. But now I want to try them on the snow and see what I've got. Yeah. Good morning. It's warming here today for a couple of weeks, so I'm happy. No more minus 30 Celsius. Yeah, that's pretty rough. It's 0 Celsius right now, which is just pretty much freezing, right? Oh, yeah, the salmon. Yeah, I already did that. Coffee, salmon. That's always a good time. I see daffodils popping up. And you can buy daffodils right now for a fairly reasonable price, but flowers, are expensive. You're in peak season, so what do you got, right? Apparently, things may cost a lot more really, really quickly here. Rich people that know each other that can't get along. We all have to sing the song, right? Poor me. That's what's going to happen. Right? You know, there'll be less money available. Grow some more foods. My advice, like Mandy, there's talking about growing food. That'd be a very smart thing to do. Just even a few containers, anything, sprouts, microgreens, switch, turnabout. You might even have an excess. Boom, definitely, Howie. Many things will increase in cost. We are in trouble. Well, some of us are in trouble. I wouldn't say we all are in trouble or anything like that. For simple fact that the worst that can come to me is I've got to go and live in a cave with some goats and chickens and whoever else has to be looked after. You just have less buying power. That's all you're going to have. And instead of having celery with your salad, maybe perhaps you'll have your kale or something like that, right? Yes, things are going up and up. This is why we have been doing the things. Yeah, yeah, and this is they're gonna, people with no scruple or couth, they have no chivalry, so they're gonna take whatever they can and give you as little as possible or nothing at all. That's all you got to remember. I'm being funny. I say, okay. Hey, Pilgor, Visible Farms. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Yes, things are going up. Yep. I say we're meaning as a country. This is going to create many issues. Yeah. Hi, Pilgor. Our government just put tariffs on USA fruit and vegetables, and some people are getting scurvy. Well, you better hurry up and grow your own and find out how to forage. Figure out how to store your food longer when it does grow. Coolers, like in a cooler, means everything with the right dry, depending on what you're storing, like cool dry air. Keep molds down. You can build a cooler just about anywhere pretty fast, and the longer you can store your fresh food, the better off you are. Like grapes can be stored for a couple of months easy, right? So you just extend your season. Apples too, you pick them a little earlier than when they're actually ripe, because if they become ripe and you can't store that apple, but you can actually cut it a little bit early, pick them a little bit early, and then store them actually for a few months. Yes, they just don't seem like earthlings, but we know that is why we learn. Yep. Morning, Mandy. Don't buy unnecessary stuff. That's very wise. Our government, yeah. Well, yeah. Don't buy anything unnecessary. Be frugal, right? Make a little last longer. Eat a little less. Maybe turn the bulbs off. Right? No more donations going out. And take care of your village. and look after your community. That's all you have. If you stick together, you'll have a better chance of having an easier time. It's not going to happen right away. In Canada, you might get a bunch of people with layoffs. Okay, so they all got UI for the next whatever year. And the government will throw out a bunch of programs. So it's nothing that's going to super affect us right away. It gives the government reason to spend a whole bunch of cash. Right? So, keep calm, carry on. You know, no, always. We're ready on our farm. Yep. Yes, don't spend what you don't need to spend. Yep. What is the best way to store fruits and vegetables? All of them in coolers? Well, yeah, as long as the cooler has airflow. If you just take all your apples and put it inside a cooler and put the lid on, they're going to sweat and go moldy in there. So you have to crack it a little bit. So you want to dry them out, harden them off. Don't bruise them when you're picking them. That's super important. And if you're going to be storing the fruit, you have to be smarter than what you're storing. So what that means is it's hardening off anything to store. Like you wouldn't put a bunch of wet grapes in the crisper. You would want them to be, fairly dry and then put them in the crisper and they'll last a long, long time. And always check over your fruit gently, especially if you've picked like 300 pounds of fruit that you want for yourself. Then if you're going to pick it ripe, it's not going to stay ripe for very long. You have to utilize it. So you're trying to extend that season. So picking it a little bit early with less sugar won't rot as fast. And storing it where it's cool conditions. That doesn't solve Canada's problem, though. Just puts us into more debt. I agree. But I'm not going to get wrapped up in it too much because it doesn't affect me. But if it does affect the average person, well, you have to approve austerity measures for yourself, right? Like you want, you gotta pull it together. And the worst thing that you can happen to you is you become unhealthy from starving to death. That's about it. Dave Knight. Well, the tariffs affect our jobs. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to get a different job, different line of work. Might have to dig a cave. First thing you learn in the military is dig that foxhole over there, son, and get in there and make that bunker. that's that's primitive man when you're going to that mentality where you got to dig a cave. I mean, holy schmolians. I hope it doesn't come to that, but you better know how to use an adze and get a nice sunny location and how to use a rock drill or heat up the rock and hit it with water, chip it away or something, anything. Tariffs affect all people in Oh yeah. It's saying I'm better than you. You got to pay me more. That's what it's all about. Rich people get more money. That's all. And poor people, they get less. Yeah, most fruit and vegetables here come from USA. Yeah, here too. We have a lot. There's some really nice stuff, some nice lemons and oranges that come from there. And I like the pecans from there. Yeah, imagine I'll pay more. That's okay. I'll just have to grow more citrus, and I don't think pecans will grow here, but I sure as the heck would try. Yes, Soups jobs pay for pensions of all sorts in healthcare. Yeah, sure does. Hey, it's going to be some problems, I imagine, supply problems, because if it's not worth your time, you won't do it anymore, right? Like, if you're in the export business. And they're all saying they're putting a squeeze on these people that are giving out illegal substances. They give it out for free, and then it's toxic to their citizens. I wholeheartedly agree that that is very toxic, and it should be dealt with. That's just, yeah, that should be dealt with. But an immature way of smashing everybody with a tariff, they look like kids. Like, you kids get along now. What do you say, right? Like, hey, thanks for all the thumbs up. That's very kind of you. Right? You gotta keep calm, carry on. Some of the rhetoric that I was seeing is like doom and gloom. They had our premier here, dooming and gloom, and then I'm like, okay. It is what it is, and then they had these, commentators on the local news, and they were all talking about the dooming and glooming, and what affects one affects all, unless you're super rich. There's no more middle class, so forget about that. So there's just the poor and the rich, and there's like 99% poor and 1% rich, and that's the way it's going to be. It's going to be that way for a long time. Always been. So why would it change? There's nothing equal here on this planet except you are an individual. It's interesting stuff. Everybody wants a piece of your pie, government, neighbors, family, whatever. People get fed up and can make change. Yes, and that's what it's all about, using the right side of your brain for creativity. Yep. Tariffs affect all people in many ways. Yep. Yes, oops, jobs pay. Yep. All trolls taking tolls, and they want to open up the North Passage. Yeah. It's a neuro-linguistic programming to follow the narrative. And if you look after yourself, and it's very simple to, if it came down to the crunch, to make a little bit of a lodging and have a few goats and chickens and some seeds. And if there's any crazy people, don't get any lineups. That's where the bad things will happen in lineups. Avoid the lineups and look after yourself now. Could be a long haul with look after yourself with because you're used to paying a certain amount right now for protein, and everybody has their certain proteins, like sockeye salmon or kippers or sardines. I highly suggest grabbing a bunch because you won't afford it later. Planting more vegetables, not paying $8 for lettuce. You're a smart man, Mr. Knight. Yeah. Trolls on the Silk Roads, and now digital toll trolls now too, and real trolls not taking tolls. Oh my God, that's quite a bit of poetry. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well done, well said. Yeah, Dave, plant more. Oh, here we go. Mandy said something way back here. Less than 1% of the drugs and illegal immigrants make it into the USA from here. Well, 1% is too much. The Trump tariff is hidden behind those things. Yeah, I got that. It's a ploy. Yeah, I got that too. There is a different reason. We are just not being told, well, there's a certain group of people, a certain group of thinking, and that's what they're going after with when they say that, right? That, they get that, oh, that's ours, right? Or that's yours, right? That they're just separating that there. Our border is an invisible line in some spots. You never know what's happening. Yeah, you go, there's, you're right. Yes, Dave, I'm doing an indoor garden as we speak. So smart. Start now. Sprouts and microgreens are your best friends when you're just starting out. You need some food right away. Hey, radishes, keep lots of radish seeds. And things are going to go up in price, like protein. It's going to go jacked up real fast here. So that's my opinion, because that's the way a person with no scruple would work. Because once you got the hold of the supply chain, you can pretty much dictate what you're going to get. Especially if there's no supply chain. Supplying the supply chain, that's a real problem. That's a problem if you if the numbers become unbalanced, like it costs too much to farm or costs too much to live, like the stress that may or may not happen is just keep calm and carry on. And just remember, caves are rent free and mortgage free. Mandy, okay. Hi, Mother Earth. Hey, Mother Earth Garden Club. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, Dave, I'm doing yep, smart, smart. Mandy, it's mostly an attempt from Oops to bring manufacturing. Yep, I saw that too. But things so expensive, I doubt it will work. No one can afford to create a business except the richest of the rich. Wise words, Mr. Oops. Oops, Mandy, more monopolies. Yep. Wild edibles, I buy most stuff locally, but certain foods is from the USA. Yes, I'll buy food wherever I find it the most nutrient dense, the most organic and fair type trade food that I can. Whether that's from the USA or that's from Mexico, or I don't really buy a whole lot from China because they've got a toxic bit of land there. So, and I don't know them. So if I knew them, I probably would. There's some really nice Chinese farmers here down the road. They grew for years here. They were smart. They grew strawberries and what else was there? Oh yeah, kiwi. And yeah, they're and good prices too. There was always a good price for good quality food. But in foreign lands, when your food comes from there, that's what makes the decision for me is if it's clean, nutrient dense, reasonably priced, and that's like I hunt down a green banana. It's so healthy, or I'll hunt down a watermelon. It's very healthy for you, extremely healthy for you is watermelon and banana, kiwi. Those are the three things that I can eat. That's just I love it. And watermelon I have to really watch because it's so sweet. And then the banana is sweet if it turns yellow. So the kiwi I just eat no matter what. The yellow ones, I've just tried the second kind of yellow kiwi, and I've got some for seed too. They're not the same as the other one. They're slightly different, or it could be that they're grown on different soils because that one was from China, but I had to have it. It said Jin Gold on it. I was like, okay, I'll take out a seed and have a look. Yeah. I sent, whoa, what? Dave Knight, I sent you some radish seeds. Well, thank you kindly, Mr. Knight. I appreciate that. That's a very kind thing to do. Yeah, that's some goodness there. Thank you so much. My concern is as a retired person, my income is fixed and everything's already so expensive. Well, that means if you want milk, butter, and cheese, you got to have a few goats, learn about husbandry. Right? You got all the milk, butter, and cheese, and then a few chickens. The worse it gets, the most simple solution is what it'll be to make it. Okay. Now, the person that has a little, flock of goats or herd of goats, whatever you say it, a flock of sheep, they do the same thing: milk, butter, and cheese. And if you got a bunch of people to feed, you have to, think, look after your community too, right? So some Rhode Island Reds, definitely 50 of them. I've always advocated that 50 Rhode Island Red chickens. And so you got to wait like 6 months maybe for them to start laying. So the faster someone gets ahead of that game, the better off they are. Quail too, rabbits. You're going to look at protein as very expensive in the future. Protein, your food, yeah. Protein. If you're relying on any protein outside of the farm where you are, the cattle, you might want to look at it. I guess I need more meat, less nuts, and plant hazelnuts. Yeah, well, yeah, plant older trees. Good morning, everyone. I am Green Giant. Be creative. I need wooden spoons, but I don't need to buy from USA or China. China. Well, yeah, no, what it is in permaculture, it's in your locale. I'm sure there's people that make wooden spoons in your locale. And if there isn't, learn to make one. It's not rocket science. It's really old school stuff. You're going to learn to make do and recycle, reduce, reuse, frugal, but still have your steak and lob. Local craftsmanship, see what and who's around, maybe even barter. Yep. Be creative. Yep. I buy lumber all the time here in the US, and most pine products come from Sweden. Where I live, it's almost nothing but pine for 100 miles radius of me. There you go. Yeah. System's strange. I tried that. I'm not allowed to have livestock, but I'm still looking and dreaming for land. Well, the thing is, you have to know how to improvise. And if you're not allowed to have livestock, well, out of sight and out of mind, and it'll give no reason to bother you. I'm sure you could get away with 5 Nubian goats. I would. You're allowed 2 here, right? So you should be allowed to have one for a pet. Goat, one pet sheep, one pet, water buffalo or whatever. You're allowed to have a pet. Between all of them, you should be able to make butter and cream and cheese and milk. I'm just saying, right? It's not as what are they going to do? Say you got to buy a license for that pet, right? You're walking down the street with your pet ostrich or your pet water buffalo. They'll leave you alone real soon. This is my pet boxing kangaroo. They'll leave you alone. They won't want anything to do with you. You're just too nice. Sorry. Always be nice. You know what I mean, though? Like if they don't want nothing to do with you, you won't see them anymore. They heard me pulling sunchokes and that they got so happy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sunchokes are a serious bit of business here. They're $10 a pound here or more. Yeah. Yeah. Sunchokes are not cheap here. And you have to be pretty much a chef to use those. Leave the gloves off your kangaroos. Things get too tight, they can stay off my land. Exactly. If shit's hitting the fan, get yourself some goats. They're wild. Who's eating cheese and putting butter on their bread and drinking a glass of milk and having some with the coffee? You are, not them. They were dumbasses. Just look at it like that. You might have to time it, right? The leaner the times, the more people put up with stuff too, right? It's how much they can put up with. Like if you got roosters crowing over there, some cranky old curmudgeon might phone in on you. I'm Green Giant retracted. Goats are addicting. I had 3 the next morning. I woke up, I had 9, and then I bought sheep. Aren't you a smart guy? Roos. Yeah, roos can make a bit of noise. Goats. Oh, yeah. Croc as a pet in my moat. How much they'll put up with. Right? I know you did a big move to the farm with your animals. You moved back. And it was a good lesson to learn. And I bet you had some good times. But on your own land, if you can't see what's going on inside that 6-foot privacy fence, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, sunchokes everywhere for everyone, fruit trees for everyone. Yeah, everyone. What you grow now is great, but you're going to have to source some protein in the future. that's what's going to be in short supply. I mean, one guy bought up all the cattle farms there. I forget his name, Gates or something like that. Yeah, he's at the gate. He's the gatekeeper. Yeah. Anyway, bring back the buffalo or something, right? 20 million buffalo running around. Will, you know, 1, 2, 3 years, you can have a lot of buffalo. In 3, 5 years, I mean, the prairies would be covered. Something has to change, and that's what these politics. I don't get into politics much, but someone likes to, unjam a log jam. Well, they're not very kind about it. They chuck on some nitro, and boom, 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 the log jam's gone, and people use that in business. And it looks like that's what's going to happen here. They're like, that's mine, that's yours, mine, 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 mine. It's a big, huge pain body to get into, and it's going to affect workers, people that have a mortgage, people that have just hanging on. It's going to affect the person in the OH home. So keep calm, carry on, grow lots of food, make lots of soil, and grow lots of food that you're going to use. And if you have extras, share it out. I mean, happy Sunday, happy giving, happy kindness, happy goodness. Because the way things I see there, it's they're predicting this rah rah rah. I've seen this before, and you know, if you don't panic, nothing will go wrong. But just so you're a little more prepared, buy some protein, some sardines, some canned salmon, frozen salmon, cod, wild salmon, wild cod. Learn to go fishing, learn to forage, learn to trade. That's a thing to learn too. And you may have to take stock of all your Zytonics, all your capabilities and abilities, and to get by a little more than the next guy. These are pretty much common sense to a person coming from nothing, like from overseas, from a third world country. They have to learn a whole bunch of learn a new language. Goats are Crocus might be. Okay, Wild, easy. Don't feed him any of those red mushrooms with white dots. Bye bye, Crocky. Stuffed in a chicken. He's gone for a hell of a ride. I am Green Giant. It's funny. Nice goats and sheep are cool. I have a friend named Bucky. He sucks some days. Bumped my hip and leg every single way. Ouch. Oh no. Definitely trade barter with your neighbor and learn how to forage, the right foods. I forage onions and mushrooms. Yeah, you must learn some. Yes. Dave Knight, I'm growing more peanuts this year, smart man. And Aqua Donkey prospecting. Well, let's go and see Aqua Donkey just in case it's some kind of weird thing. Nope. Seems pretty normal. hmm And you're actually doing some music. You're outside. And you're doing some prospecting. Oh, good. Hey, I'll sign up and look at it in a little bit. I appreciate it. And yeah, mostly normal. Well, we'll see. No, I'm just kidding. I'm growing more peanuts this year. That's really wise. More of something that could be stored easily. That's a very wise thing to do in peanuts and tree nuts, or it's where it's at. And seed collecting. It must be done now. What's normal? Yeah. I have a big garden, so if meat and dairy get too expensive, I can go vegan. Yeah. I think what gets imported will be a problem. I mean, they were the ones crying about stuff, and the guy that has it here locally, he might sell a little more because no one can afford it. Who knows? Like these things work. Yeah, and More coffee. Wild mushroom playlist. Ah, well done, Wild Edibles. That's yours playlist, hey? What's normal? Yeah. Well, fishing and making little crawfish traps, and you might have to learn how to eat tree chicken or something like that, right? I'm not saying to do that, but for protein, you may have to improvise in the future because if it's supply chain problem, then you're definitely going to have to look at local, what it's in your locale. You should know within 5 kilometers of who's got chicken eggs, who's got chickens, who's got quail, and who's got goats and sheep, and in your locale. It's the fastest, quickest route to increasing your protein is that. And then if you have some pond available, putting a lawn sprinkler on the pond and dropping a bunch of young smolts from your local rainbow fish hatchery and populate a little pond, you got your fish going on. People will just have to adapt and take up crayfish farming, take up rabbit a warren with a whole bunch of rabbits. So something will have to give if your protein, your steak goes to $50 a pound or $100 a pound, and you're going to have to replace it. And if it's vegan, well, it's vegan. But remember, eat your vitamin B, all your B, nice and riboflavin, like all B12, everything B, because that's what you're losing out on. And Aqua Donkey Prospecting, cool name, man. Exactly. Oops, howdy. Oops says what? Oops, what? Normal. Yep. Wild plant. Yep. Yes. But check out the comments. Lots of others in there with information too. I certainly will. Now that it's there, I'll make. I think I've been there. I don't remember though. But I mean, also, does anyone have a pantry or stock up like bug out bags of food? Well, I imagine people do. If you don't, you should. But always is in play, stay in play wherever you are. Transporting goods, it can happen for some that are in good shape and whatnot, but try to stay in play with most anything until you have to go, because that's where all everything that you have to look after yourself. But a mobile container garden is a good thing to plan for, right? You got instant good soil to go with you. You can definitely gonna do a lot with that. I am Green Giant. Also, does anybody have a pantry? Of course they do. I love morel hunting in the spring. Yes, I as well. The old Heinz factory by me still makes beans and other stuff for the Canadian market. Exactly, Mr. Knight. Exactly. Beans are good protein. The problem with beans is there's lectins in it. And not everybody can, you get a lot of gas from it because it's hard to digest. So what I do for mine, I don't buy beans that are like got sugar in them, like baked brown beans, something like that. I might buy beans in a can for tomato sauce or something like that because I got to watch the sugar, but it's still high carb. So you just use a little bit of that, and yeah, beans I eat them, but some people have a hard time with them. Dried beans for protein. What do you think about that? And you can plant them, of course. Like mung beans. I sprout mung beans and eat them often, and any beans. But I mean, I like fava beans too. Those, I really like them fresh. They're really powerful alkalizer, and you can eat the leaves and the flowers of the fava bean. It's delicious, right? Even dropped in a stir fry at the very end, right? Oh, nice eyes, Howie. Yeah. Thank you very much, Peace Journey. You won't say that for the next week because you won't see me. I'm going to get some surge done on them. So it's a 6-week process. You got to look after it, put drops in, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. That's I'm going to be off YouTube for a while. I thought yesterday or day before was my last day, but I guess I get one more day because I don't got to be anywhere till tomorrow. What I'm going to do with what? Who knows, right? I think I should have a coffee. Yeah. Hey, thanks for all those thumbs up. Well, I hope you got well fast. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been preparing. Oh, here we go. Oh, hey, thanks for the thumbs up. Happy Sunday. All day long. Ooh, scarlet runner bean and chili instead of kidney. Yes, I do too. And the scarlet runner you can cut off and it'll regrow. Okay, like next year. That's what happens here. You just cut them off and they'll regrow right from the ground. Oh, just a cataract removed. There's several. There's like 3 different operations that's going to go on. The first one, they want to do some laser and burn off where these veins had broken off. They want to cauterize it and make sure it's not going to grow around it. And then a new lens, and these are all different surgeries. And then the another lens in the other eye. Then it's over time, right? So I won't be looking at the YouTube much because, for one, I'll have glasses on and doing drops all the time and stuff like that, and that kind of thing, and some other things too, like it's coming up. I've been pressing for. So. My medical condition has changed in other manners, and so I have a nitroglycerin spray to bring down my blood pressure instantly. I have that. That's new to me. It happened where I needed saving one day or something. There, the paramedic, the 3rd time after doing it, they brought down the stabilized me to move me because they didn't want to move me with a high blood pressure and the way things were going. And it's for vasodilation, so you're not just pumping out blood. And my God, it was a rough time. It was a little while ago. It was a couple of weeks ago. Mother Earth Garden Club. I had cataract surgery. That was quite an easy recovery. You must have real good immunity too. Cataract surgery is, what are you going to do, right? It's just floating. And it's floating around. That's annoying. So, a couple new lenses, burn up some veinage, keep the heart pumping. Yeah, it is scary, but keep calm, carry on. Just look after yourself. That's all. Yeah. So everybody gets to that point. There's 2 ways you leave this world. One is you're full of tumors, or the other one is you're full of congestion. It's very few leave with a sudden going in your sleep. That's for all the saints out there, I suppose. Diabetics are more prone to cataracts. Yep, you have to be careful. Good luck on your challenges, Howie. I will keep making soil smart man. If you have your soil ready, you can produce food fairly quickly. If you don't have your soil ready, then you might go hungry. Unless you got a bunch of money or something. It's the rich that get to eat the good food. Yeah. Are you doing both sides? No. At one time, at a time, to see what happens. Yeah. If it doesn't work on my worst eye, then they want to change the lens. That's one surgery, and then they want to burn the veins so it doesn't keep growing around the obstruction, the occlusion, right? So this is what I'm told. It's hard to trust people. Yeah, you don't know them. They don't know you. They don't got much love for you. Just saying. Glad it went well. Mother Earth, where are you? Diabetes are more prone to cataracts. Yep. Team Deep Water Cultivating. What's popping? Well, right now, not any corn on the stove. I like popcorn. It goes pop, 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 pop. Yeah. Get an eye patch. Well, I'm going to have one. Definitely for 3 days. I don't want anything going in here. Welcome. Team Deep Water Cultivating. Let's go over and see Deep Water Cultivating. And bing bada boomba. Where are you? Oh, and you're a good channel too. Look at this. Well done. Oh, I'm subscribed already. Yay. I never get a notification, but I already have the bell and I'm subscribed. Welcome. Just there you go. And that's what's popping is you've got Papa Smurf's magic wand. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, but protein is what's going to be, and believe it or not, toilet paper we have lots of. We have lots of toilet paper in Canada. But, there's going to be price increases on protein that people, like Mother Earth says, you become a vegan. Right? But the more simple your life is, the easier it is for you to survive. Like you do everything ergonomic, right? If you're ergonomic, then you're making it comfortable, easy. So there's an old word that says give it a kiss, keep it simple, yeah. So that's a big thing is 50 Rhode Island Reds and then 50 meat birds on rotation. You can probably look after a large family or a very small village. A few goats for milk. There'll just be some lifestyle changes. I imagine pop will get cheaper. Yeah, Team Deepwater Cultivating says hello to Green Giant. Okay. Great comment. Basically, the less you have, the easier it is to survive. Yes. The less responsibility. You don't have to get into a lineup. That's the priority one is you're gray man in it with what you've got and look after your loved ones and try to be kind and gracious. Squirrels, the other white meat. Yep, the tree chickens. Robins have a nice breast of meat. Pigeon, when it comes down to where you need protein, where are you going to get it? Right? Rattlesnake's nice protein. Crocodile, that's good protein. Just saying. If it's you or them and you're not a vegan, well, I have a couple of canine fangs. Squirrel doesn't taste like chicken, but rattlesnake is better chicken than chicken. Yep, absolutely. It's just in reference because they live in a tree. A chicken will go up into a tree like little banties and stuff, right? So, but yeah, they don't taste the same at all. I tried some. I tried some dill from my indoor garden and going to make creamy dill sauce for salmon. Oh, there you go. Hey, that's what it's all about. It's those few herbs. Boom, makes all your culinary delicious. Well done. Well done. Yep, crocodile. Well, whatever. I'm not a fan of crocodiles or anacondas or rattlesnakes. I'm not a fan. So, first thing, if I'm hungry and there's nothing else to eat, I'm sorry. On the evolutionary expanse, there I'm ahead of you because I heard about weapons for hunting. Pigeons are great, just a bit different setup. Yeah, you don't fully cook squab. You can eat it a bit raw, but it must be seared and whatnot. I had a neighbor that raised the chickens in a treehouse. Was pretty cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. A roost is a roost. Yep. Yep. Birds like a big nest. Yes, definitely. Dylan salmon is a dill in. That's pretty cool. Salmon is amazing. Yes. Dill goes with and lemon. It's my two. I keep a lot of dried dill on hand because I am on the coast here. A little bit of cream. You heat the water up. Put an inch of water here, or 2 inches of water, and start put a bunch of clams or mussels in it. Right now it's a clean time of the year, right? No red tide right now. So then you can cook up a bunch of mussels or clams, and just when it starts steaming and boiling, and for like a minute, not even, then drop some heavy cream in there and dill, a big pinch of dill, and you got a scoff going on. They're very healthy. Yeah, pigeons are just a bit different setup. You can have a flock of pigeons that live near you easily in a barn. They'll go in the barn. Just leave the window open. Hey, Shawnee Grows. Anyone ever ate guinea hen? Not recently, but I have. I do eat chickens. Good day. Happy Sunday. No shades today. No, tomorrow I have to put them back on after my first surge tomorrow morning. So then I'm back to wearing them things again. It gets annoying. And I upped my nutraceuticals heavily for repairing this here, but I had to wait a while, figure it out, and procedure, blah 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 blah. But I'll be right back at that, and I'll even have an eye patch for a little bit. So last fall I got a good deal on hamburgers, so I canned a bunch plus canned several jars of chicken soup. So smart. Yep, so smart, Mother Earth. It's the hunger gap can happen anywhere, and when you're in the northern states, that's where it could happen the most because everything's trucked there. Last fall, I got a bunch. Okay, I am Green Giant. Pigeons, great source of protein. Absolutely. Deal. I had them on the farm. The only problem is when I bought them, they used to fly back to the owner. Yeah, that'll happen. Never had guineas. Does it taste like quail? Maybe, I don't know. I know quail tastes pretty darn good. Even a robin. I mean, when you're wanting to thrive, you don't want to just survive. You want to thrive. So the most protein dense, nutrient dense food that you could have if there's nothing on the shelf is what's in your locale, like squirrels, rabbits, prairie chicken, grouse, duck, goose. Lots of goose fly up and down there. They go north to south. That's a lot of protein. And if you can't buy your meat at the store, or if there's things that become too expensive that you're not going to buy your packaged food anymore, it's garbage food anyway, and you're going to go and forage but it's not just forage. It's fishing, foraging, always trapping with and collecting your bivalves and mussels and clams at the ocean at the low tide if you can, getting up a lot of knowledge of foraging. And then they'll be opportunistic if you were to bug out, which I don't advocate bugging out. I say stay stay in play. Don't once you start moving around, you're getting away from your sources. So in town, I could have quail and no one would know. Eggs and meat on demand. Exactly. They take care of themselves. They can fly to other yards and people even feed them. It's really cool. People like the little California quail and a little bell on them. They come here 30, 40, 50 at a shot, and I don't disturb them. Mourning doves come here. Owls come here. I'm not saying to eat any of them, but and SHTF, and I don't have a can of sardines, and I don't have my bunny rabbit. Well, something's got to give, and it ain't gonna be me, right? I'm sorry, but you got to pick it up a level and don't be squeamish and get butthurt about anything, right? You don't have time for it. It's when it comes to protein, you better have the accessibility of a lot of sources, like whether you've got meat, vegetables. There's protein in beets, but or if you don't have chicken, what are you going to have? There's either chicken, sardines, or something like that's what's available, and then that's for like people that don't have a whole lot. And then the upper level, there's steak and fresh wild salmon or fresh seafood. That's the next level. And that's a little difficult to attain for a lot of people because of financial reasoning. And, if you got quail and rabbits, you'll be doing darn good. And protect that warren. There, coyotes come around, and coyotes are good. They clean up the vermin, like a lot of rats and mice. That's their job. Hey, is the coyote and the fox. They're important to your ecosystem. They're to be encouraged. And if they get some of your flock, it's because you didn't protect the flock. You didn't do your job right. You need to do some learning. And people that leave alone the creatures that look after the vermin. I mean, if you leave them alone, you'll never have a plague with vermin because they just simply keep the numbers down. Same with rabbits; they'll keep the number of rabbits down. That can do a lot of damage to young trees, right? So the coyote, he's a good fellow to have around, and the fox. I know I'm a softie. Well, you got to have a heart. You got to have empathy and sympathy. You don't have much spirit if you don't. Right? It's okay. Guineas are noisy, so never kept them. Just chickens, doves, pigeons, and quieter birds. Exactly. The Rhode Island red's really gentle and quiet. Even the little rooster, I had a little rooster here for a bit. He was really quiet. He just chirped a little bit, and he didn't do anything. He had to go after he was a year old, though. He just I don't need like a million chickens here. I was eating the eggs at the time. In town, you have government imposed restrictions. Yeah, that's because they're able to see what you're doing, right? If you walk down the street with your water buffalo, then yeah, they're going to know what you're doing. You're over there creating water buffalo cheese, right? So if you have a few chickens that are quiet or quail, you kind of fly under the radar with that shitload of bunnies, right? Bunnies are good protein, but you can't just eat rabbit. There's you need other things like a quail with it, or you can't just eat moose meat. You got to have something else with it, like a duck or something, right? Or it's you become deficient. So a couple, three sources of protein is an absolute must for every earthling. You have to have it. And with these games that are played by these political governments and stuff and ideologies, is the worst thing is there will be it'll be unavailable. There's no availability. That's the worst. So plan for the worst. I'm sorry, I had rabbits as pets, yeah, and I don't have the stomach to dispatch them. You're just not hungry enough. I know I'm a softie, yeah. Well, so am I. I like cute bunnies too. Mother Earth, I had hens for eggs and as pets. They all had names. I couldn't dispatch them either, so totally understand. Yeah, I didn't on my last batch. I gave them all to one or two to all the prepping channels on YouTube prepping or on Facebook prepping channels that a friend knew. So I advertised there at one of my very good friends, and he put it on that marketplace. And then I just had to meet them somewhere and give them their chicken in a box. Here you go. Here you go. They loved it that it was a year plus old and already laying the new egg. Peace Journey. Love Rhode Island Reds. Yeah, such good birds. They are so friendly. Thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up. Wise words. You just weren't hungry enough. Yeah, I don't like using words like that, but it's the reality. Is common sense that you've got children to feed. You're going to dispatch that bunny. Simple as that. Then that's going to be your dinner and probably your lunch for a couple of days. Sparingly eat it with something else. Peck me and meet the frying pan. Yeah. It's great if you can, have pet birds, pet chickens, pet rabbits. That's awesome. Yeah. If I get hungry, I might come and eat them. Just saying, like not for me, but I mean, when there's SHTF, you better hide those, okay? Because someone will hear pop, 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 and you'll have a dozen zombies running over to your place, and they look like a bunch of drug addicted meth users that you see on the street, just buggy eyed, crazy, and all bent over. That's for real. Because people that are hungry, they're hungry. Hangry. That ought to speak volumes, right? So hide your birds, your goats, your sheep, hide them. Put a bloody ghillie suit on them and hide them if you have to. At least you got milk, butter, and cheese. And then, milk, butter, cheese, meat, fertilizer, hide, those, and it comes down to how much coffee walks and whatever. Hi, Dave. Coffee walks and whatever. Good morning. And a message retracted. I'll have to watch the replay. No, I'm just kidding. I still have two of the old hens. They don't lay eggs, but they eat my veggie scraps. Perfect. And if I'm hungry, they might still be there. They are old, retirement spoiled. Yep. Always have at the minimum 5 chickens. Minimum. Maximum 50. So 50 is better. Dual purpose bird is best. One that you can just they slow down on their laying, so they got to become a stewing chicken, right? And chickens are beautiful. They're nice creatures. They become friends. So named them Ginger and Teriyaki and whatever, right? There's Pepper and they're salty, right? Because you just you become attached, so it'd be difficult to hard on you. Got to toughen you up a little bit. You're on YouTube here. Hi, Dave. Good morning. Hello. I thought you disliked dual purpose birds, Howie. Well, if I was hungry, I wouldn't dislike them. I'd like them a lot. Right? I'm not going to complain about a robin that I air pistoled off if I'm starving. I mean, if you don't have love and you're hungry, there's no love. You're hungry. I mean, you still keep your empathy and sympathy, but you're hungry, you're going to do it. Just saying. Uncle Al predicts that there's going to be a bunch of cannibals. So he's been predicting that for a while. Hope he's wrong. Anybody come around here try to do that shit to me? I'm going to take an interest in seeing you dispatched. Just saying. You only get one shot, 1 in a trillion shot at being here anyway, and then someone's going to come by and gnaw on you. Screw that shit. Raising rabbits before there's pet ones and wild ones. Yeah, the wild ones are pretty cute. The friendly ones I found homes for, even if it took me a while. Smart. Hi, Make It by Mandy. Hi, Coffee Walks. Yeah, I dual purpose bird. I've always loved the Rhode Island Reds. I've always had a bunch, and I couldn't eat mine because I was friends with them, but I could give them away to responsible looking people. And then some people, like there was this Filipino guy that came by and he was salivating and looking at him. I said, sorry, but you're not getting these. So you're going to move along now. He wanted to buy them all. And he's like, oh, I'll buy them all. I bet you would too. I'll beat it. Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, exactly. You got to keep your sanity, right? And when you're hungry, the rule book went out the door. Glad we got our veggie garden. Smart Coffee Walks and more. The more veggies and fruit and nuts and roots and foraging and fishing and keep it undercover. Don't let anybody see what you're doing. Go gray man it. Don't have any love for the wild rabbits because they eat my gardens. Ooh, we should arm you. Around here, wild rabbits have parasites, so not sure your safety. Yeah, make sure you cook them all the way. They can carry disease, rabbits, from trichinosis to whatever they figure out. Man, they run around on the ground. Right, some cleaning rules, and look at the liver. The liver looks like it's got a bunch of green bile on it, and there's white patches on the liver. I wouldn't eat that one. That one goes to the compost or something, right? I mean, there's safety checks, common sense, right? Don't have any love for the wild rabbits. I suppose not. I mean, I ate thousands of them growing up. I thought you okay, yeah. No, a chicken egg from a dual purpose bird is a good thing. You know, don't mow clover, let that grow. Bunnies, go for it first. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that see the thing about rabbit poop, there's no pathogens in it when it first happens, right? You can put that in water and make a tea and boom right onto your plants, right? Because you know it's almost the perfect fertilizer, right? Don't yeah okay high coffee yeah well, cheers. It's Sunday and frozen out there. I'm gonna have to hit my front with some salt. I don't want to because I don't want the birds eating it. Yeah, I'll be right back. I got doggies to take. I was able to buy rabbit poo from Amazon. That's pretty cool. It's really good stuff. Good to see everyone here today. Hey, Shawnee, good to see you as well. Wild edibles, rabbits eating whatever they can in the wild, get parasites from the ground, check their liver for spots. Yeah. Yeah. I just finished making a grocery list. Smart. Cool wild meat. Well, yes, soon wild meat should be cooled and down immediately. How was the market? Yes, thanks, Dave. I think I left a comment to that on, I forget, somewhere. I had a few rabbits get parasites from wet whole oats. Flies lay eggs on grain. Grain gets wet, and the eggs hatch. Yeah, rabbit poop is ideal, and you always look that animal over if you have to consume it. If you have to, you have to. Learn to catch trout or perch or bass where you are, or carp of bull trout, whatever it is, that can supplement a lot of protein. I had a few rabbits. Oh yeah, rabbit poop is the best. It is. It really is. Shawnee Grows, I love the farmer's market. Yay! We picked up a double-sided cribbage board. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Bison jerky. Wow. Blue popcorn, golden yellow popcorn, patchouli soap, beets, cabbage, freeze-dried candy, sunflower microgreens. Wow. Very exotic, hey? Mixed microgreens, a sourdough bread with 3 kinds of flour. Oh, very cool. I just got a new sack of flour too, and it's non-GMO, and it was reasonably priced. I thought, well, I thought about buying 2, but I still had one. Only use 1 a year, really. I don't use a lot of it, if that. Mike the Caveman, good morning. Hugs to you as well. You have farmers markets open this time of year? Very cool, Shawnee. Made some canned elk. It was so good. Ooh. Use apple cider vinegar as a marinade. Absolutely. Johnny Gross says it was an indoor farmers market first and third Saturday in the month, and we drove 45 minutes to get to it. I just imagine the good times. Yeah. So you've got a cribbage board out of it, and bison jerky. I've made my own bison jerky before. Blue popcorn. I don't think I've had that. Yellow I have. Patchouli soap. I think I've had that. Beets. Yep. Cabbage. Freeze-dried candy. Freeze-dried candy. That must have been cool. Sunflower microgreens. I've had that a couple times, and I got to get more into it. It's so delicious. I think Mother Earth Garden Club wants to know where it was. Good morning in chat room. Much more love. You too, Mike. It's good to see you in here. I must go to the Amish market again. Absolutely. Those guys got a lot of common sense. Maybe you're Amish. Maybe we call you Amish Dave Knight. Yeah. Good morning in chat room. Much more love. Yes. Wild Edible says, nice, Shawnee. Where's Shawnee? And Idaho Garden Girl Steph's here. Hello, hello, hello. And Mancado. I guess that's, gotta move this thing. There we go. That's an N. Yeah. Yeah, I've never been there, but I've been to a lot of markets here. They have farmers markets here, and they just cover it up with these awnings, and all the stuff's in there from like the wild crafters and what's grown local, what's imported, and you can even ask them what's on their list that they can import for you. So, and there's like a few of those around, probably 3 that I know of just in my locale. But there's more. There's a lot more actually all over the city. Hi, Mike GT. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, GT. There's a bit of a drive, but possible. Well, yeah, go and check it out. An indoor farmers market. I was to one yesterday. I like their discount rack. It's absolutely cool. I mean, you get a head of cauliflower like that for 99 cents. What's the problem here? Where I pay like 20 cents or 30 cents for a lime, right? It's an hour and a half from me. Oh, enjoy the ride. You know, oh, coffee Sunday morning, chit chat with pals. I won't be around after I get some surgery going on. There'll just be, you know, I got to rest up for the next surge and then the next surge. So won't be on YouTube for a little bit, but I will be back. Just won't be back right away. That's for sure. Cause I won't be able to see the bloody keyboard. But I have a friend that says that will help me, a couple of family members too. So, but I don't think I'll be feeling like that much. You got to stay out of the light, stay in the darkness with my eye patch and my sunglasses. Yeah, I look like a pirate and a sunbather at the same time. Yeah, but it snowed heavily here last night. We got like, well, I don't know, probably 3 inches on top of that what was there. So yeah, I don't know if that's heavily, but it's all frozen. It won't move well. Apparently, we're supposed to have it's 1 Celsius right now, so it's going to warm up. When if it rains, it might mostly go away. That would be nice. Speedy healing, buddy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have someone that took over my chores, so I'm okay with that. Hey, Bill. I have someone that took over feeding my birds. I feed my birds every morning. A lot of seed for the birds, and there's different birds. I have suets up, and I like to warm up the hummingbird nectar because it can freeze, right? They need to get a drink. So I like my hummingbirds. I was watching them yesterday in the snow. Bill, hello, Bill. We only got flurries here and it melted mostly. Oh, that's nice. Peace Journey, I found that my great great grandfather was a Canadian, came down to Texas in the 1820s. Yeah, this was the Wild West back then. It was a pretty rough place. Gotta go. Have a great day. Coffee walks and whatever. You have a great day as well. Good to see you here. Johnny Gross says this is for Minnesota Search Farmers Markets, both summer and winter farmers markets, Minnesota grown. Well, that's very kind of you. There's a few people from Minnesota that come here. Thanks for putting that up. Get out and about, right? That's what it's all about. It's healthy to get out and about. And I love farmers markets. Hang out there for a little bit. It's pretty cool. You'll meet like-minded people, right? That's important, and make connection. Market a little, right? Yourself. Have a good one. Coffee walks and whatever. Yeah, you take care. It's Sunday, so nothing's happening here for me. I'm not doing anything other than sitting here. And I have my mushroom book. I'm going to be reading that a little bit and getting ready for tomorrow. So I got someone looking after my dogs and doing my dishes, doing the snow removal and salting. I'm going to do the first day today, and then after that I won't be doing too much other, just resting. Others can just type their state and farmers market into search. There should be directory pop up. Yes, use the AI to your advantage, your search engine. Have a great weekend, Coffee. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to a few different CD Saturdays kind of thing. Going to a couple, maybe three of those. I might go at the Royal Roads Got a couple of pals there, so they want to show me something. So that'll be an interesting trip. And what else was there? Well, yeah, daffodils and snowdrops are all up here. It's kind of cool to see them all. They've been up for almost a month now, or if not a month or more. Crocuses will come up in a bit. There's colt's foot. Some of them colt's foot already came up. Have a great coffee, yeah. But in the future, make a list of where you could catch a few trout. Make a list where you could pick some freshwater clams. Make a list where you can go harvest some seaweed. Okay, get a notebook of where all your notice berries patches are growing, and because you might not remember in a certain situation, and do that for up to 5 kilometers walking distance from where you reside, your domicile. Meet every gardener you can that's meetable. Market that 5 kilometers. Ha ha, no pun intended. If you got to go further, like an hour and a half to a farmer's market, go. It's not going to happen always, and it's a network where you could get some food from, especially if there's like a lineup to get into the big box store. That's the first mistake, is that people got in that lineup. That's their first mistake. Okay, you don't want to make your first mistake. Okay, you want to do it ahead of time. Have access to food, high protein. And if you're vegan, well, make sure you have access to your veggie patches, because it might get a little bit high priced, and over time people will just opt out because they can't afford it. I mean, you can barely afford junk food. Even if you go out to these fast food restaurants, you better have a lot of money now. And you don't, there's no nutrients in it. It actually takes from you. It doesn't give you anything. Others can just type there. Yeah, okay. Have a great, yep. It's a great way to get the farmer's direct information. Of course, yes. Do it. Their name, farmer's name and address, they might actually be closer to you than you think, and then drive into the nearest big town to sell. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're getting into the business of providing food, what better place to network? So you can go directly on the site to the farm gathering list. Yep. There's a farmer's market, High Steph, downtown, but finding a place to park is very difficult. Very happy I caught live with you before, sir, your surge. How your best wishes. Thank you kindly. Thank you so much. My very best to you as well, Peace Journey. Well, maybe perhaps, some that can be remedied by seeing the municipal hall or something like that, the county office, and say, look, we need more parking here. What can we accommodate, shut down a street somewhere, and that'll be all parking? Usually it's a simple fix to do something, that I find. And if it's complicated, which is rare, because someone made it complicated. And that's what's happened to our medical system in Canada here. Folks have made it complicated when it doesn't have to be. It's not like that anywhere else. So, shut down one of the side streets just for parking by the farmer's market. Something like that, right? Put out cones. This is your new parking lot. There's an antique toy show today. Oh, cool. What was I watching? Where there was an antique, what do you call that? There's a car, a tethered racing. They go 150 miles an hour. I'm like, holy. There's an antique toy show today. Very cool. Thank you, Peace Journey. Thank you so much. Yep. The house all tidied up, and it's like, too tidy. I had a dinner party yesterday. It was fun seeing my pals. One of my pals is going overseas for a while. And my other pal, he wants to go overseas to buy cheap land in Japan. In Japan, you can buy a cheap house and cheap land, really cheap. Like you go to Chiba, For $20,000-$30,000, you can own a house. And the thing is, they want you to live there. Wonderful party. Glad it was fun. Oh yeah, we all shared in prawns, local spotted prawns, and wild coho salmon, and I did tuna tataki. I soaked the tuna loin, the wild albacore tuna loin, in soy sauce from Japan, a special soy sauce. It's light. So then I dropped it on the Barbie and I kept turning it so it just seared. So then I took that off and I cut it up and on like flechette cut. So you have this wide piece, and you're making it just to fall apart that much easier. It's not so tough. It wasn't fully cooked. It was very soft anyway. It's when it gets fully cooked, it gets tough and it's not desirable. But it did go off well. I had a nice organic salad. Now I will be out of my greens from here, this greens patch, because I would go out and just graze. That's not available now that it's frozen. And when it does thaw, it won't be as much available. Like most of the radishes are going to die off. And some other things like chickweed, that'll die off. I love eating chickweed. But yesterday I made a pickle salad. With it was very good. Bell Loop 29 Homestead. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, just, it's happy Sunday. Pretty frozen here. Yeah, it's 1 Celsius here, rain and snow. It's accumulated a bunch of snow already. Can't do a whole lot. Yesterday I had some plans, but it didn't work out. The guy that was supposed to empty my pathway soil bank, he smelled it was snowing, raining. No, okay. I might heal up and have to do it myself. Yeah, good to see you there, Belt Loop. Cheers. It's always good day to see you as well. Yes. My greens are frozen. Yep, mine too, frozen solid. But the centers of some of the kale look like they might be alive. Yeah. I know some of my brassicas will make it through this quite easily. Or great day to you as well. Great day, yeah. Yeah, great day to you as well, fellow Earthling. Fellow people think is just male. Well, no, fellow Earthling covers male and female. Just saying. Kale is cold weather veggie, isn't it? Can be, mostly. Mostly if it's in the shade with some cool water on it. Yes. I know, Garden Girl Stab. Yes, that's exactly it. Sup Peeps covers it all as well. Sup covers it all as well. Yes, as well. Too funny. But in the wintertime, everyone should be growing microgreens and having sprouts in the winter. And I think it's probably shorter just thinking out loud. But me saying that takes more time. Shawnee grows, I'm so thirsty today. Well, have water when thirsty. If you drink cold water, your body has to work harder and heat it up, hey? So if you drink warm water, it has to work less. So if you're older, you might want to drink warm water because you can't warm it up, right? The water affects people, and you can drink all the water you want as long as it's clean, and you're just flushing your kidneys. You flush. It's so important to keep that hydrated and working. I like room temperature water. Smart. Yeah. And just woke up. That seems likely. I reckon I'm talking in circles, and it's not even Thursday. It's Sunday. I like tepid water most of the time as well. Tepid water. No, don't know what that is. Elaborate, please. Yeah, tepid. Kind of sounds familiar though. Drink more coffee. Wake up, Howie. Room temperature. Yeah. Lashes Journey. Welcome. Good to see you there, sis. Hope all is well. Belt Loop 29, Homestead. Tepid is just another way of saying room temperature. Oh. Belt Loop 29 is saying hello to Lashes Journey. Good to see you there, Lashes Journey. Very smart lady with her health and her mental health. She does her spirituality and she does her nutrient delivery very well, I must say. Exercise to have healthy body, healthy mind. If you need help with that kind of thing to get into a good program, I'd go and check out some of her videos, even her old videos, and the determination to get healthier, stronger mentally, physically, and financially. Even she'll have some good tips, and she's a kind person that does goodness. So it's good to see you here, Lashes Journey. Yeah. Birds are building nest here. Yeah. Interesting. A bird can build its own house, feed young, kick them out into the world. Huh. With a little brain this big. Interesting stuff. Hello everyone from Lashes Journey. Birds are building nest here. That's very cool. That means spring's here. There, Texas. And hello to Belt Loop from Lashes. And I'm having coffee too. Nice. I appreciate you. I appreciate you as well. I don't get over to your channel nowhere near enough. Always keeps me motivated seeing your motivation. You really motivate a lot of people. Keep up your good work. Cheers. Yeah. It's all in the love of food and your mental health, of goodness and practicing kindness. It's very so healthy for you. You enjoy your being. Appreciate you as well. And the temperature is too warm for February, so probably a late freeze by watching the flora and fauna for the inside scoop on early spring. Yeah, absolutely. What's going on? That spring comes a little earlier in Texas there than here. I know that from past prior experience of watching videos and knowing people there, and I have myself here. It'll change. This is the second day of snow, and here, so that's not bad. It's February 2nd, I think. Yeah, it's the second month of the second day. Yeah, so that's not bad. And the rest of Canada have been in this state that I'm in now for a couple of months already. So I'm most fortunate to have this nicer weather. Peace Journey and the temperature. Okay, I read that. But February worries me too early. Yeah, February we usually here get snow, but not always, but usually. So that's not bad for Canada. Did anybody hear what the groundhog said? Yeah, he left a big shadow or didn't leave one. I don't know, but anyway, apparently winter's on for another 6 weeks. So I think so. I can't remember. Someone mentioned it earlier. I think it was Wild Edibles. Peace Journey. Groundhogs make a mess of things. They dig holes everywhere. They're just a nuisance as far as I'm concerned. But they're nice and cute and furry. But if you're trying to grow a bit of food, it's like having a vole, a veggie eater under the ground. That's a problem. Food in the future, there's dirty fear porn rumors, going around that we're all supposed to be all scared half to death that, nah, there's no shadow. There's no shadow. So no shadow means more winter, early spring. How to garden? Hey, Glenn, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, early spring. Early spring? That'd be great. I'm done with the winter. I've had 2 days of winter now, 2 days of snow here on southern Vancouver Island. Hey, there's someone's present still. Let's see who's all present. There you go. I'm present. That's what the dot means. Low digital footprint. Too funny. But 6 weeks, if you look at it, the calendar, either way, but it's a fun tradition. Yes, it is fun. Peace Journey says present. Thanks for all the thumbs up. That's really kind of you all. And it's happy frozen Sunday. No wind, so that's really, I really appreciate that no wind. Very still and calm, because when it's frozen here and the wind comes from the east there, it really howls up against the ridge here. But any other way that it comes here, I'm pretty much protected. But if it comes from the east or even the southeast, it can be harsh, especially with the frozen trees. They don't bend too good when they're frozen. I feel like we are a month ahead still, but last year I was feeling that spring will come a month early, like we had last year. Brutal on the island with wind. I saw, yeah. Oh, yeah, the wind comes from that east there. I mean, you don't want to even be anywhere near the beach. You can get hit with a log. It's best to stay away because it's just best. Especially at a high tide. Lots of homeowners along the shore, they had to get out and cut up the logs, make barriers, stuff like that over the years. Definitely. It just whips up, even small dried cedar can fly pretty fast. Yeah, yeah. It comes from the east. See, the ridge is behind me, so south is a bunch of trees and buildings, but east where the sun comes up, there's no protection. And then north, it doesn't really affect us because the ridge behind it kind of comes around like that, and then I'm tucked in there. So, but that easterly, even some northeasterly gust, I've seen trees bust off here, especially frozen. If it's frozen, that's because it was wet, then it froze, then you got wind. So I'm blessed today not to have that wind last night or this morning. Really lucky, because I'd be going, I need a cleanup here. And I do chop and drop anyway, or I make biochar from everything. So that's the bonus here that I do. I was watching my friend Dan in Florida, and he was doing a bunch of chop and drop and taking off the dead off his trees and stuff. And it'll be coming spring there soon. So he's all over while it's still a little bit half dormant to get out. And it was good watching someone know what they're doing, with pruning. It's such a delicate thing. Yeah. I don't prune mine unless I absolutely have to, like dead or something like that. I let it grow wild. I like to see the wildness to it, what happens. And because in the wild, I have seen large fruiting trees filled with fruit, or wild grapevines that are absolutely loaded with fruit. But I've seen the grape farmer on the other side of the valley get nothing. So why do these things happen? That's what I like to go and see and figure out. And wind can dry out a tree or a vine pretty fast. And a cold wind can do a lot of damage. It's not used to, once the wind picks up, it's below zero, and it picks up and it gets really cold. And for a longer time, it's hard on trees. It's very hard. Yep. 1:45, hour and 45 minutes and 6 seconds. That's a while to be on here. It's nice though. Can't do too much outside. Although I have to salt the front, that's important for anybody coming and going. And the legal requests too. Someone slips outside your place. Oh, you didn't clear the snow in a quick enough manner. Some crap somebody will dream up. Why are you out there in the ice storm anyway? That's what I say. Like, and that's pretty much an ice storm. Everything's frozen, but everybody's got their excuse. I ha- I have to deal with the heat being hard on the trees, rarely cold. Yes, yes, yeah. I have because I put my citrus outside and I don't want any light on it. And when I'm hardening it off, I throw a white sheet over it to slow down the brutal heat because it's not used to the sunlight either. So yeah, I hear you there. Yeah, absolutely. A bit of shade somewhere is nice if it's too hot. There was a guy in Nevada that it was too hot to grow citrus. The rock heated up and killed it. And I've seen that before. I had citrus that died like that. It was too hot on the cement in a bucket, right? Even though it was watered and looked after, he just cooked it. But a guy in Nevada, an old Italian guy in the early 19th century, he or late 19th century, yeah, late 19th century, he dug down into the rock in Nevada. Then he planted the orange tree and it grew up through the hole. So because it got too hot here, it allowed down here to grow in the cool underground. And he had underground home. You can Kirsten Dirksen put out a video on it. You can go and look at it. And he grew citrus viably because it was too hot. The rock got too hot. He was smarter than hot rocks. The tallow hand lotion turned out well, works well to keep my dry skin at bay. That's right, you were making some. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. A lot goes on this channel. Yeah, rarely cold. Yeah. Well, in Nevada, it's rarely cold, but it does get cold. I'm just saying about one place, but it's all in adaptation in the future, past or present, that I see that works is you're adaptive. And, if there's some kind of change or something, then you adapt. For myself, if it gets too hot above ground and plants are all dying, I'm not going to stay up top. I'm going to go under. By the time that air gets down to me, it's nice and cooled. Just saying, right? Cool air won't burst your lung, but super hot air will. Shade cloth changed my summer gardening game. Absolutely, you keep them greens, those lettuce and cool weather crops longer. Absolutely. Now I have a garden long after the neighbors has burned up from the hot rays. Yeah, yeah. Shade cloth, nice white sheet. It goes over it when it's blistering sun. And if you got trees, then like I said about the Italian Sicilian, actually I think he was Sicilian. He couldn't get his lemons and figs and whatever and oranges to stay alive in Nevada until he dug straight down. He bought some really cheap land. He didn't have any money. And someone sold him a piece of land he can't farm. Nobody wanted. So like he got it for a nickel or whatever it was. I don't know. It might have been $5 or something. Or $50. It was really lot very much because nobody wanted it. Because it was rock. Right? Plus, the portable container is handy for location adjustment if necessary. Absolutely, it's mobile. If it's too hot, then just move it over into the shade. You're smarter than hot rocks and sunny sunshine. You're slick. Keep it up. That's what it's all about. Is what your plants can put up with. Well, they can't put up with getting baked in the sun. So a shade cloth is everything. You're smarter than the sun, I think. I am. I know I am. Had my furnace quit working. Oh no, yesterday, but fortunately I got fixed by early noon. Smart. Yeah, on top of it. I notice a lot of people don't change their filters enough, their air filter, and clean one even. Clean it with a vacuum, get it out of there and clean it all up. because when you're closed indoors in the wintertime, there's a lot of cumulative dust bunnies and dead cells falling off you and everything else. Summertime, you're a little more likely to be outside and it falls off you. There's a difference. You want clean air. Cutting off a nice cedar bough and bringing it inside freshens the air too. It really helps. You know, yeah. It can quit. Your furnace can quit. I have several ways to heat this place, so I'm just being lazy and I put on the forced air, right? Ignition switch quit working. Smart to get it fixed right away. Makes a difference if you're cold at night. I mean, you're gonna lose more weight. Just if you're skinny already, you're sick. You don't want to be, cold at night. You want to be able to feel warm. So if that ever happens, your furnace ever just pop your a blanket in the dryer and warm it up, and then take it out and put it around you. You'll feel better, eh? Especially in the wintertime. And if you're an older person, you can do that for them. It's a really smart thing to do. It's just warming them up so they're feeling more comfortable. Yeah. Not close to skinny. Well, you experience a winter in the cold, you won't be very skinny at all. You're in your environment and you're going to use up more. It takes 36 hours for you to burn up all the carbohydrates inside you, and then you become a fat burner, right? So my dad used to tell us, you stay outside for 2 weeks, and he was right. Stay outside for 2 weeks, you get used to it, and you start seeing that 5 or 10 pounds drop. Boom. And what's happening is autophagy. You're going straight to fat burning, and it's a clean liquid if you've got clean body fat. But body fat does store toxins too. So it's a trade-off. When you're not eating carbs, its trade-off is your mitochondria is working much better because you're burning your fat, which hopefully you got from eating salmon or salmon eggs or free range beef or something like that, or olive oil or something like that, or even coconut oil. Olive oil is a medium heat smoke point, whereas coconut or avocado is very extremely high heat. Not close to skinny me neither. It's okay to be a little chubby. You get sick, at least you can handle it. You're going to lose a bit of weight. You won't feel like eating. And then if you're living in a northern state or Canada, mostly anywhere, and you got to spend some time out in the cold, do you ever see homeless fat people? They just don't exist. When I help out the homeless, I go and I give a stove or a blanket or a jacket or something. Not that you can find any now. And you burn up your metabolism is going to just fly along because you got to have food, and the clean lipid is the best food. Your powerhouse of the cell, it will run efficiently more with a clean lipid that comes from autophagy. I think that's the correct word. I'm just going by memory. What happens after 36 hours once you stop eating carbs and you're just eating, just fiber and protein, then it's gonna affect your lipid level. There's a certain amount of fat on you, and that's why animals get fat. So when they go through the winter, and they can survive because they have stored. The body's supposed to do that. Hey, it's really difficult. It's easy for me to say, but it's a really difficult thing to do. You have to have a really strong mind. Idaho Garden Girl. So many furnaces have a filter that it's difficult to change. Needing a ladder and special filter that can only be ordered. I had a furnace like that. I was so glad to have one that is simpler. If you find yourself like that, then order 3 or 4 filters in advance. And that's a good thing to have, is a dozen filters on hand. because, if there's a disruption, you have that covered and they're cheap. My filters are easy to change, thankfully. Yeah, I have the same thing on my natural gas furnace. It's just pop the door open, pull it out, and put it in. Now, you can clean them, take them outside, and pound on them a little bit with a brush, clean it up, look through the light, and if it can be reused, reuse it. If it can't, then change it. But if there's none to order, I suggest that you clean it. Even flaying it flat and using the vacuum on it and then really cleaning it, wear a mask, because you want clean air. You have to have clean air. You don't want mold, fungus, spores of any kind. That's when you're getting into problematic scenes. On the West Coast here, they call it the wet left coast, okay? Somewhat real, but sometimes you can go 130 days without rain here, and that gets pretty real. It's pretty scary because of fire or something like that, right? But luckily, we last time was only 60 days, so it was half that. But before that, it was 120 something, close to 130 days, no rain. That's scary, man. That's scary, especially if you got a lot of understory and brush that hasn't been looked after. Luckily, here people look after it pretty good. They got laws, right? You can't, screw around with leaving a messy property, right? And that's what happens. Nobody cuts the brush, so it just comes through in a firestorm and a bit of wind. Not good. So when you're thinking about the future, keep it simple. You, you know, and the future now is there's a bunch of hype going around that you things might get expensive. So whatever you're using right now, if you can buy a little extra of it, like proteins, you'd be wise to do so. The fire last year were smoky. I had to change filters every 3 or 4 weeks. Yes, that OxyClean Palmolive soap really cleans them. They're gentle with it. Can really take out, because smoke is carbon and it's accumulative, and you don't want that. So when you're cleaning a filter, there's some knacks. Gently clean it. And it's better to have a bunch of extra ones. They're not that expensive. Have a 25 pack. You're good for a couple of years, 3 years, boom. Right? I always think like that. And I leave them right beside the furnace. And right there, too, also, I have a carbon monoxide detector, and I have 2 smoke detectors on both ends of the utility room. And the other one is in the storage room, because it is natural gas. Okay. After an earthquake, you ever see what happens with natural gas after an earthquake? You got to fight a little bit of fire until eventually it'll stop feeding it. But until then, you better have a bloody well big, extinguisher that tackles the gas fire. It's a little, it's a lot of danger when you got natural gas. And, you know, it can be problematic after an earthquake. And being on the West Coast, I keep this huge fire extinguisher, and I told both neighbors, "Come with me." And I brought them over, and I said, "See that there? Do you see a natural gas fire? That's the one you use." It's this monstrous thing, and it's on a little dolly to move it around, right? Because you don't want to lose your dwelling after an earthquake. But that's what happens. You see, after tsunami, after an earthquake, that's you'll see the fires. And I don't want to lose my home. And you see a lot of smart people, they put sprinklers on their home, smart, and have a pump and a swimming pool full of water. Why not? You're smarter than fire, right? Well, at least I hope you are. People become complacent. Okay. Like, if someone's not going to carry your insurance policy, well, then screw you. We'll go somewhere else. Someone will. And the nonsense I seen going on, the bravery from the firefighting crews, those guys in the little birds, big birds, and tankers dropping fire retardant and water. Those guys, they're real cowboy flyers, man. They impressed me. I was very impressed, man. Really, you really got to know your aircraft and be at one with your aircraft. You see those guys, what they're doing, man. They come in, some of those guys come with big tankers and really right down there. I'm like, holy. But they know their limits. And I was very proud to see them do their good work. Yeah. Yeah, difficult to change some. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Well, I'm on my second hour. It's Sunday morning, and it's nice to see you all here. And I thank you very much for gathering today here. A happy Sunday to you, and much respect. And get yourself some stuff that you use, anything you use a lot of. It may change in price, so buy a few extras so it doesn't hurt you as bad. Watering the indoor plants smart, shaking out the rugs outside, super smart. That concern of food inflation was part of the idea when I got this position. Groceries are part of my compensation for most of the week. I am a scratch chef and we eat tasty, nutritional meals. Absolutely. Nutrient dense food. That's what you want. Run the body and the mind off optimum nutrient intake. If you don't have any nutrients, all the mastication and chewing in the world ain't going to bring out any nutrients because it's just not there. Then there's the problem of people that do eat nutrient dense food and they don't chew it enough. So much love, and I will see you again, and it will be a while. So you all take care. And remember, you're smarter than a price hike. Goats and chickens are your best friend. You all take care and blessings to all. Darth-X. Cheers, Darth-X. Stock up on what you're going to need now, not later, because you don't want to be in a lineup, okay? Thanks for the thumbs up. Take care, folks. End stream now. Hi and bye.